and welcome to your YouTube channel, My Expert Doctor. I'm Dr. Shalini Singh Salonke with you as a consultant physician. Couple of days back, when I was sitting in with my family after dinner, we were watching some news channel, and all of a sudden they announced breaking news regarding COVID-19. And then they started blabbering something about double mutation, triple mutation, UK strain, South African strain, Andhra Pradesh strain. We were all perplexed. My husband then asked me a very simple question. Forget these strains and mutations. You just tell me one thing. Is it going to affect our lives? Is it a new threat related to COVID-19? I'm sure many of you are also thinking about the same things or similar things when you are listening to all these news channels. We are common people, mango people. We are not scientists. We do not want to understand about the strain and mutations. What concern us is just 4 questions. Is it really important concerning matter for us? Is it really going to make us more sick? Is it true that these viruses, these mutant viruses can escape immune system, or vaccines are not going to work on it, as we are listening in many news channels? And the 4th and most important, if it is all true about these variants, what can we do? How can we save ourselves from all these things? This is what concerns us. So in this video, we will try and understand everything in simplest way. We'll start with the basics of mutation, then we will understand how viral mutation will happen or usually happens. Then we will understand what all strains and mutations and everything are there around us currently. Then we will try to answer the 4 questions for ourselves. So let's pick up first thing first. Are these mutations something new? Is it only happening with COVID-19 virus? Because we have never heard about this earlier. The answer is no. Mutations are part and parcels of our lives. If you want to understand the meaning, it's just a fancy word for change. Now, someone ages back, some great people, they have said something very important about change. That change is the only constant reality of this world or universe. Since the beginning of life on earth, everything is in constant mutational or changes. Changes are happening with animals, plants, birds, insects, humans, viruses, and bacteria. So evolutionary, if you want to see, mutations are nothing new. These are part and parcels of our lives. Now coming to another important topic, we'll understand how these mutations happen in viruses. Now viruses are unfortunate organisms in the say that these organisms have information how to grow and how to multiply, but they do not have the system to do so. So they are dependent on other organisms for multiplication in numbers. If we talk about coronavirus, SARS-CoV-2, they are dependent on humans as for their reproduction process. Now we'll understand with the help of a figure, a diagram. Viruses attached to the cell of humans, these are called host cells. They transfer their information sheet, that is their genetic material, which contains information about their reproduction, into the human cell. While transferring this genetic material, after transferring this genetic material, the host cell, the human cell, pick it up and start making multiple copies of it, like a Xerox machine or a printing machine. Multiple copies of genetic material then forms multiple viruses. So one virus entering into the human cell give rise to multiple viruses. Now, while this process of Xeroxing or printing, typo error happens, and this is mutation. Viruses after mutation can give rise to 3 types of viruses. Either they will become harmless, or there will be no significant change in the virus, or the virus will become dangerous. Now, what are the characteristics of a dangerous virus? First, the rate of infection will increase. Second, the killing power or pathogenicity of the virus will increase. And third, they will learn how to escape the immune response of the host or in humans. So if any of these three characteristics are there in a virus after mutation, we will say the virus has become more dangerous. So what we have understood till this point is that mutations are nothing new. These are evolutionary processes and this will keep happening. Nothing new about corona. Second thing, mutations happens only when virus enters a human cell or a host cell and start multiplying. That means more spread or more transmission of virus equal to more mutations. So if we stop these transmissions or spread of the virus, if we do not allow them to enter our cells, they will not mutate. So how can we stop them from spreading and from mutating? Even a 7th grade student can answer this question nowadays. The 12 steps of precaution that we mentioned in our previous videos. Now, unfortunately, if you have not seen that video, please go and watch it today. So now we'll come to the third important point. Since the beginning of COVID-19 in December 2019, hundreds of variants and mutants have emerged so far. Most of them are harmless, non-significant, while few of them are the variants of concern globally. I'm sure you must have heard about UK strain and South African strain, California strain. So why they are matter of concern? Because about a dozen of mutation have happened in just single virus. So obviously they would have happened in various specific points. We don't know much about the changes that has happened and what results are they going to give to us in future. But one thing for sure we have seen that the infection rate has increased compared to the original virus, that is the COVID-19, SARS-CoV-2 virus. So this UK strain, South African strain are more infectious compared to the original strain. That much we know. And because of this, since they are more infectious, there are chances that they will mutate more and therefore they can create havoc again. So that's why they are the variants of concern for us. This UK strain in particular, it originated somewhere in December 2020, or we found out about this in December 2020. In India, it was found in early Feb 2021. And in north part of the country, most of the infections or most of the samples that we are getting and the genome sequencing we are doing, we are seeing that UK strains are more common in the northern part of the country. So we can say that probably the second peak that is starting from Feb this year is because of UK variant. We can say that. We are not sure about that. This is a probability. So this was mostly about UK strain, South African strain. Now we will talk about something very important. This is a very prestigious gift or important gift that India has given to the world. This is double mutation. Now let's discuss about double mutation strain. This is gift from India to the world. Now this double mutation strain, why people are so scared about this? What is so scary? So to understand this thing, we need to understand the structure of COVID-19 virus. So while you're looking at your screens, the gray color is the virus's envelope, the lipid layer that covers or surrounds the genetic material of the virus. On that, you can see some red spikes. These are the spike proteins. In these spike proteins, there are specific area which is called receptor binding domain, which is demonstrated in green color here. This is the specific part which attached to the host cell, and through this the virus enters the host cell, the human cell. Now the vaccines that we have made, they help our immune system to identify this particular receptor binding domain and make antibodies against this specific part of the protein. Once these antibodies comes and get attached to this part like the lock and key, it doesn't allow the virus to enter into the host cell, and hence the infection is abolished or reduced. Now that's why the spike protein part is very crucial, very important. Now the double mutation has unfortunately happened in this particular part. And the virus has become so intelligent that they knew that we have changed, we have done something against the RBD, the receptor binding domain. That's why its infection rate is reducing. So it has changed its reception binding domain only. So now through this change, the virus is able to escape our immune system. This is why people are really scared about this double mutation strain or mutant strain. So for nerdy people, if you want to know what this mutation is, it is E484Q and L452R. These two mutations have happened in the spike protein of COVID-19 virus. Now, what is triple mutation? So apart from these two specific mutations, another mutation has happened in the same strain. And this is a non-protein or non-spike protein area, so probably not a matter of concern for us now. But definitely, double mutant strain is a matter of concern for us. Now when we have understood what is mutation, how mutation happens in virus, and what is so concerning about the double mutant strain, UK strain and AP strain and California strain and all, we will now try to answer 4 questions. First one, is it a matter of concern? Definitely yes. Look around yourself. Just try to think about people whom you have known who have either acquired infection or one of the family members have acquired infection. It's very common nowadays. Second, that means that the infection rate is increasing. 2 days back, the 24-hour spike in the infection rate was about 3 lakh something. And today we heard it was something about 4,24,000. So definitely within 24 to 48 hours, the spike is increased by 1 lakh. So definitely it is more infectious. What was the second point? The lethality, the killing power. Now again, look around yourself. You have lack of oxygen, lack of beds in the hospital. Even the young people are getting seriously affected by the disease. Some of them might have lost their lives. So definitely the killing power of the strain has also increased. The third point was whether it is able to escape the immune system. We have just seen that it has changed itself. So there are pretty much high chances that this particular strain will escape our immune response. That is probably one of the reasons why people who have got infected last year with COVID-19 are getting infected again. Plus, there are few cases seen where people have vaccinated themselves, both the doses over, yet they have developed the disease. So there are chances that this particular virus is capable of fighting against our infection. So definitely it fulfills the criteria of dangerous virus, dangerous mutation. Hence we can say that it is a matter of concern for us. Scientists need data to give you any solidarity about this thing. But we as common people can use our common sense and see around that there are evidences that this is dangerous. So now coming back to the fourth important question, how can we save ourselves? We know now that everything is true. The virus is dangerous. The mutations are dangerous. So how can we save ourselves? Mask and social distancing. As simple as that. Now, a century back, when millions were killed by Spanish influenza in 1918 to 1920, I guess, our ancestors, they were not fortunate to have vaccines or drugs like Actemra, Remdesivir, steroids, which are considered now as magical bullets. Yet they fought the deadly disease, and within a couple of years, they were able to defeat Spanish influenza with just 2 things: mask and social distancing. If they can do that, why can't we? It's time for us to learn from our history and save ourselves. I would also like to add something about vaccines. Vaccines are still important as they might not stop infection but can definitely reduce the risk of hospital admissions and risk of acquiring severe disease and reduce death rates. This is what global data stating till date. So now we have understood what mutations are, how the mutations are happening in viruses. how many strains, various strains we are surrounded by as of now, various strains of COVID-19, and how can we save ourselves from this calamity. Now, in the next video, we are going to discuss some important details about vaccines. I'm pretty much sure you might be thinking, which vaccines are better for us because we want the best one. We have many vaccines at our disposal, but which one to choose? Second question, who can get these vaccines? Third, are there certain things which we should consider before getting vaccinated? Are there certain side effects of vaccines? Everything we'll discuss in detail in the next video. Till then, be safe and be happy at your place. Thank you.